Welcome back to Underdog Off-Road's Esperance to Point Malcolm adventure. You are now to part 3. After a cruising and scenic part 2, the Underdog team took a beach entrance that would have been very difficult for us to get back up. You get that? The exit on the other side was a little better, but still going to pose a challenge. But first up, we have to get across these rocks. My tow bar scrapes on a lot of things, but I'd rather scrape the tow bar than the bumper, as the tow bar won't fall off and the bumper will. Next up is Chris's turn. His tow bar is a more practical length, doesn't scrape as much, but he makes up for it with his exhaust tip. Both Falcons through the rocks, it was time to plan the beach exit. 2 out of our 3 options involved a tight bend, which is rear-wheel drive's greatest weakness. The third option was a soft but fairly straight exit, however had some large rocks scattered along the path, so I didn't want to risk hitting any of these with speed, as they would be pushing our clearance. Time to air down to 5 psi and see how the 2-wheel drive will go crawling up slowly and see if it will clear those rocks.
Stop. You're clear fine, so you can use a little bit more momentum if you want. Yeah, you're fine. Just try to place the diff to the right of that one in front of you.
Now Chris's turn and a bit more confident to clear the rocks. Part out the way, there's only one obvious thing to do.
He's bogged again!
This brings my tally up to 4 while Chris is still only on 2. Chris then got in a sneaky third bog on the next beach entrance trying to close the gap. The cameras weren't rolling. Exiting through the same section was good to watch though. Luckily we got the action really running. Time to see what Chris has prepared us for lunch.
Chris has always had interesting taste. Everything from cars to food.
Now that we've made it to Warden Beach, we have completed the majority of this coastline, and we could enjoy a nice afternoon swim. If you're in the Duke of Orleans area and have a four-wheel, any type of off-road vehicle anyway, it is well worth a look along the stretch from Blissful Warson Beach up to Hammerhead, as there is a mix of rocky climbs and sand challenges. Actually, four-wheel drive would come in handy a bit for some of the sandy sections here. They get pretty steep. Oh, could do have a tender for my yacht.
maybe brake it a bit.
After a cruisy start to the day, it was time to meet up with another off-road wagon. However, this wagon has a Holden badge on it and is all-wheel drive. That's right, it's the Holden Adventurer. Time for the traditional Aussie Holden vs Ford face-off, but this time in an off-road environment. Which will handle off-road better, all-wheel drive or diff locker? The Holden drew first blood, as the lack of diff locker proved problematic on the articulated sections. A small amount of filling in the holes that were dug out by other open diff four-wheel drives, and the Holden was able to make it. Another technique that can help you out in similar situations is driving off to one side of the track. This way your wheels end up either side of the holes instead of inside the holes. The combination of extra wheel travel plus diff locker in the Falcon means no power is wasted from lifting wheels. This makes this type of terrain a breeze.
That's insane. So impressive.
Yeah, it's pretty good. However, the tables turn as soon as we encountered rear-wheel drive's ultimate off-road weakness, a bend. Lack of drive to the front wheels means the Falcon doesn't get pulled around the corner very well, and the momentum gets lost.
Nice. Oh.
Both Falcons got stuck in the exact same spot, so we'll switch over to my recovery. Basically, we both had to reverse down into the next bowl across, which then gave us a straighter run up the final part of the journey. There was some max track juice to help turn the cars around on the side of the slope. Holden Adventurer's other advantage was greater ground clearance into the Diff. This is due to having independent suspension both front and rear. Of course, this is at the cost of wheel travel that the solid axle Falcons have. Unfortunately, there wasn't a good opportunity to showcase this extra clearance on this particular trip. Today definitely favoured the RTVs, as it was mostly axle twisters more than anything else. So basically, Adventurer wins for deep ruts and anything that involves steering ability, whether it's a windy track, doing U-turns or off-camber tracks. And the RTV wins for axle twisters, uneven ground and anything that could lead to lifting wheels.
Well, I didn't need that much of a run up, jeez. Here we go, he's going to hit it at 60.
Some acacias supplied some bush tucker. Don't worry, the red doesn't mean poisonous in this particular case. And with that, we set up camp for the final night in the shelter of the dunes. And just when I thought it was all over and I'd won the getting bogged competition, Chris goes and diffs out on some plant. The Adventurer certainly would not have gotten stuck with its superior clearance. So Chris and myself ended up getting the same getting bogged count. However, Chris used a greater variety of recovery methods. Snatch, winch and recovery tracks. I'll only use recovery tracks. So looks like he wins this round. After this, we had a quick stop in Moore Homestead, where nature had certainly taken over. And on that note, we're going to say our goodbyes from the muddiest, smelliest part of Stoke Inlet that we could find. I do say I've got to recommend the west side, not the east side. Thanks for watching and see you next time.